I want to speak with you about Usman's fight against Shabliy. How was the training camp, first of all?
Training camp went well. It was a good training camp. Now it's just ready to go and perform.
So it all started in Dubai, yeah, first, and then in San Jose, aka.
Yes, Dubai and then San Jose, correct.
Is it a 50-50 fight, or what chances do you give as an expert and coach?
No, we're gonna win. Usman's just too good. We're gonna win. Shabli's probably his toughest opponent to date, but Usman's ready. I mean, he's just really good everywhere, and let's see what happens. But I feel Usman's gonna win.
Shabliy believes that Usman doesn't have boxing. What do you make of Usman's boxing game comparing to Shabliy's? Who got the
I would say Shabli's probably boxing is just a little bit sharper, technically, but that doesn't make him a better boxer because Usman can box. Shabliy might be technically, like technique wise, maybe a little better, but doesn't make him better.
if to speak
Technique
about,
doesn't make him a better fighter.
yeah, and if to speak about Usman believes that Shabliy's weak side is his mentality. You probably, as a coach, watched and analyzed Alexander's fight. I wonder, what do you think on that?
I think he's well put together everywhere. I think Shabli's good everywhere in every department. I think he's strong mentally. I think he's strong physically. I think he has good technique, and he has great game plan and great coaches. He's got everything going good for him. He's a good opponent, very good opponent.
Usman called Khabib a gift from a god when Usman was asked about Khabib's return to coaching. Do you agree with Usman?
Yes, yes. I agree with Usman. Habib's been a very big important part of their life. And he's a very big important part for me also. He helps immensely. He makes my job really, really easy.
What's the father's plan going into this Shabliy fight, in your opinion?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what Shabliy gives us. But Father's plan is exposing weak areas, so that's basically it. Now everybody knows. I let everybody in on Father's plan. It's not grappling.
Yeah.
It's weakness. So we'll see. We'll see what he exposes himself to, and if he does, Father's plan will be implemented. Depends what Shabliy gives us.
Yeah, I just wonder what's the weakest part of Shabliy. I think it's more wrestling stuff because Usman always wrestled with Islam, Khabib, and all the other guys.
It could be. It could be the stand up too. Usman's a great striker. He's not a boxer per se, but he's a great striker.
In the past, Shabliy was in your gym, aka gym in San Jose,
Yes.
and he was preparing for the Adriano Martins fight. How did you
Yes.
how did you remember Shabliy then, back then?
He's very good. Very good, very disciplined, very humble, very good person. Nothing but respect for him. He was very respectful when he was here. He was a good fighter, really good.
And if to speak about his sparrings with Islam, do you
I
remember?
recall sparrings with Islam if he had him. He might have, but I don't recall. And if he did, he didn't win.
Yeah. He didn't win, you mean?
No, he did. Nobody beat Islam. Only Khabib. That I could tell you. No one here ever beat Islam in any matching, any rounds, any sparring. The only person that beat Islam all the time was Khabib. That's it. No one else. So if he sparred with Shabliy, it didn't go well for Shabliy.
And the only guy who took rounds from Khabib was Islam, right?
Yeah, but nobody took rounds from Islam other than Khabib.
Once you said that you're an avid gambler. Did you?
Yes.
I just wonder, did you bet on someone from the Khabib team? And
Never. I've never bet on fights. I've never bet on fights.
why
Never.
so? Why so?
I don't like it. I don't like betting on fights, and I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to put money on my fighters either. And I'm actually becoming less of a gambler now. I'm actually kind of, in a way, not even gambling anymore.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, almost quit. Not 100%, but I would say I've dropped gambling about 99%.
Oh, right. What's the largest amount of money? I just wonder that you bet.
I don't want to tell you.
Right. You wasn't happy about the fact that there are a lot of homeless people. For example, you said that in San Jose near your house, they are everywhere.
Everywhere,
Yeah, and
everywhere.
I have one question. Which America would you choose? With homeless people, trans people, woke culture, but with freedom, or without homeless people, trans and woke culture, but with serious restrictions from on freedom, like in China, for example?
I love America. I love how America is. I just want, peace, and I want everybody to be living happy. And I don't like the homelessness, and I don't like some of the laws that they impose on here. That when they become law, they become law, and I don't like it. But we live here, so we have to conform to what the laws say. But the homelessness is the only one I will speak on because that one I don't like, and I don't think for as rich as this country is, I don't think that should be happening. I don't think there should be any homeless in the United States because it's such a rich country. That why so many homeless? I went to Dagestan. I didn't see one homeless person there, not one. I didn't see one person begging, not one. Why is it here? Why is it happening in a rich country like this? That we have homelessness, we have people begging on the streets. Whereas you go to Dagestan, I see none of that. I see none of that. No graffiti, nothing. Clean everything. And Dagestan's not a rich city by any means. But yet, why is it so clean? Why are the people so nice? Why is there no homelessness? Because they take care of each other. They take care of their own, you know. And they may don't have money, but they take care of each other. They do good things for each other. They bring them food. They make sure they're fed. They make sure they're housed. And here, we can't do that.
And maybe because of the population, what do you think? Because America has more people than in Russia, for example, twice or three times
I
more than.
to do the population. It just has something to do with culture, the way everybody's grown up. It's. I wish it was different. And all our tax dollars should at least some of it should go to take care of our homeless. It's sad because some of these don't homeless people don't care, right? But I'm sure there's a lot that do. I'm sure there's a lot that do. It can't be a coincidence that after COVID we have quadrupled our homeless. It can't be a coincidence. It's because these people homeless destroyed everybody. And then they didn't have a job to go back to, so they have to live in their trailers and mobile homes are out in the street. And it's just sad that it should never have happened. Never. The government let us down after COVID. I feel.
Yeah, Arman told me that the Islam fight may happen in December. Any updates on that?
I'm still waiting to find out on whether Islam's healed. I don't think his arm's still healed. I think his ligaments still. He's not training, from what I know. So I don't foresee December happening. It could, but I don't see it. It could happen, but I don't see it.
Mhm. It might be January, as far as I understand.
January seems more likely. January, February, but I don't see December only because I know his hand's still not healthy.
So, am I right that Arman is the next step, next job to do for Islam? Or
I
it
would say,
can,
and he should be, because now that Bilal won the welterweight title, that isn't going to happen. So it should be Arman. Yeah, and Islam doesn't choose his opponents anyways. The UFC is going to offer who they're going to offer. Islam's going to say yes. The only issue is when he can say yes, when he's ready to go. That'll be the only issue with Islam, not who my opponent is. No, he'll fight anybody. He's the champion. He's not going to say no to anybody. Whoever it is they put in front of him, he's going to fight.
yeah, if to imagine that Shafkat beats Bilal, is it possible that Islam fights Bilal or Shafkat in that scenario?
If the UFC offers it to him, sure.
So there is no worries for Islam to fight Shafkat. Am I right?
No, no. It's just on the UFC and what happens. So if that happens and the UFC offers it, I'm sure Islam's going to say no problem. It's all up to Islam what he wants. But as far as I know, he won't fight Bilal. That I know. I know he will not fight Bilal.
because they are teammates, right?
Yes, yes, yes. There's too much time spent with each other. That won't happen.
If to speak about Arman and if to speak about Islam, who evolved more in your opinion? Can you speak about the evolve of Arman?
Well, since they fought, they've both evolved. I mean, Islam's got more, 5 rounds in now, so he has more experience. So evolving as far as an all around. Who's pound for pound number one? It's Islam. So there's no way I'm going to say Arman. Pound for pound, it's Islam.
Yeah. And the last one, if to speak about anybody from the Khabib team, obviously you got a lot of unbeaten guys, but who has more chances to reach Khabib's record or maybe even overcome, you know?
There's one that has unbelievable potential. We'll see yet to see what happens. Is Amaru, who's the UAE Warriors champion. He's unbelievable everywhere. He's the one. He's the one that has the best chance to be the next superstar from Team Khabib. So he's the next one. I say Amaru.
Obviously Magomed Zainukov, who fought in UAE Warriors as well.
Yeah.
And I was asking Magomed about the best striker from the Abdul Manap school, and he said that it's Islam. I just wonder why Islam? Why it's not a Usman or another guy?
No, most experienced is Islam. He's got more experience. He's definitely the best striker out of all of them. The most talented I've ever trained is Usman, but the best striker overall, the best overall fighter is Islam.
Speaking to Conor and Khabib fight, UFC released a video footage between them and the cornering stuff. We all now know what Khabib, Islam, and other guys was telling Khabib. Like he was spitting, Khabib was spitting on Conor and saying some bad words. In your opinion, why UFC did so? Because they uploaded it in now
Why
six.
why did they do it? I don't know why the UFC does that they do. I mean, they're a marketing machine. They know how to market, so they just figured what's going to get the most attention and to their brand. And I mean, they're the best in the world for a reason, right? They know how to market their people, and they know how to brand the UFC. The UFC is the number one brand in the world that almost everybody knows, and they keep doing what they're doing to brand themselves. So them doing that probably was another reason, not for a possible Conor Khabib fight. No, it had nothing to do with that. It's just branding. I think it's just a branding move.
Yeah, maybe my first thought was like maybe UFC promoting Islam and Conor fight. Who knows?
That is possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, that's a definite possible because I mean, who else? Habib will never fight him again, so that's never going to happen. So who's the possibility? And Conor wants the biggest fights possible. So for Conor, the number one biggest fight for him would be Islam. So yeah, definitely, we welcome that with open arms for sure.
We all know how Abdul Manaf was saying that Habib will retire and Islam will step in, and will
Yeah.
be the champion. And what's the next for Usman, for example, if he beats Alexander Shabliy, what's next for him?
Well, I believe he's going to be Shabliy. What's next for him is whatever Bellator puts in front of him. I mean, he's a Bellator fighter, and we don't know where he's going to be. He could be a Bellator for the rest of his life. I mean, they take good care of him now, so let's see what happens with them. I mean, he's a Bellator fighter, so I can't say, oh, he's going to be in the UFC because, he's happy where he's at. So let's see what happens with Bellator. Let's see what happens, with the treatment, how they continue to treat him. Right now, they're treating him fantastic. So there's no reason for him to think about anything other than defend his Bellator title. It's a legit title. It's a legit opponent, and Bellator is a legit organization.
Yeah, you were telling that Usman has a GQ style, like how he looks like. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he's very classy, dressing very. I mean, he's a ladies' man. I mean, women love him because he's a very good-looking guy, and he's cool. Cool meaning he's very he says funny things, he's funny. He's very funny.
I just wonder, have you suggested him to like do modeling stuff, in the future?
No, 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 I didn't suggest that to him. He could, but I don't know. I think he knows what he wants to be. He's a fighter.